Hello, I'm Sarah, and welcome to my webinar, where I'm going to explain to you how my online program, 30 Days to Thrive, could help you change your habits for good so that you can create a life you've always wanted. I'm a Sober Club accredited sober coach, and that's because when I stopped drinking, I was so amazed at the unexpected positive changes that it brought to my life that I decided to train to be a coach so I could help other people change their relationship with alcohol as well. Now, I completely understand the idea of quitting drinking can seem really overwhelming. So it is a great first step just to take a break from drinking. And that's where 30 days is a great place to start. Now, you might have done 30 days before, or maybe longer. Maybe you've done a dry January or a sober October or something else. And you might be thinking, well, I've already done that, so why would I need online coaching to help me do it? Well, look, I'm guessing that the fact that you're here watching this proves that, probably come February or November or whenever you just went back to drinking again. And then before you knew it, you were back to the bad habits that you wanted to break free from. Well, look, let me share with you what I've discovered about alcohol and stopping drinking and how I can help you make real positive and tangible changes to your life. I'm going to start by sharing with you some comments frequently heard about drinking. My drinking has escalated over the years. Once I have one drink, I want another. If I have the opportunity to drink, I never turn it down. I don't feel as bored or lonely when I drink. I've tried to moderate, but always end up back where I started. Having a drink is a reward for me. I drink even when I don't feel like it. For example, when I'm unwell. My sleep is terrible and I wake up in the night feeling anxious. I wake up hungover, guilt-ridden, full of shame, even when I've not done anything wrong. I appear successful and happy on the outside, but I hide my drinking. I make bad choices when I'm drinking, such as what to eat and who I spend my time with. Now, I'm going to guess that at least one of these must resonate with you. How do I know? Because I was all of these things. And although I functioned, I always had this nagging feeling that I should be doing something about my drinking. If you're feeling this, please be rest assured you're not on your own. A 2024 YouGov survey found that 48% of adult drinkers in the UK wanted to stop or cut down their alcohol consumption. Well, why don't they just do it? Because they are scared. Yes, that's right. Scared. Scared of what life will be like without it. How am I supposed to enjoy myself on a night out? How am I supposed to relax after a busy day at work? What will my friends think of me when I say I don't drink? And worst of all, will I become boring? It is easy to feel like this. And let's face it, alcohol is so normalized in our society that you'd be hard pushed not to feel this way. Alcohol has become how we celebrate, how we commiserate, how we socialize. We believe it gives us confidence, it helps us sleep, it calms our nerves, it relieves our boredom or loneliness. It is our special reward and even friend. This product's amazing, right? It does all those things. But let's get into some facts. Alcohol is ethanol, the definition of which is a psychoactive and toxic substance that can cause dependence. And here's a spoiler, sorry, but it doesn't matter how much you pay for your ethanol, what vineyard it comes from, or how long it's been left in the cellar for, or how the hops were brewed. It is still a psychoactive and toxic substance that can cause dependence. And drink companies know that, right? But despite that, they create it, they package it, and then they advertise it with clever ads telling you you'll be all sophisticated and fun if only you drink their drink. But then they whack a label on it and say to you that if you're not careful, you'll get addicted, and that is your fault. Alcohol is essentially a drug, but it's so normal in our society that it's the only drug you have to justify not taking. We are brought up from a young age to believe that as adults, we need alcohol to live fulfilled lives. It's strange how we didn't need it before we started drinking, nor is it needed by the 20% of adults in the UK who don't drink. So, what if you could do all those things? You could celebrate, commiserate, bond with friends, be confident, sleep well, manage stress, have more energy to do all the things that you would love to do, live a fulfilled life and reward yourself without the negative side effects of alcohol. Well, if there was a magic pill you could take that would give you all of those things without the hangovers and without the guilt and shame, well, you'd take it, wouldn't you? So, what if I said you could have all those things and still go out and socialize, relax after a hard day's work or with the kids, have a great relationships and not be the slightest bit boring? And what if I said that you can do that without going to weekly meetings, without labeling yourself as an alcoholic, without resigning yourself to this lifelong battle, nor having to do it all alone? Well, who am I to tell you this? Well, look, there's me. I drank for decades, but these photos of me in sort of the later years as a drinker. And you're probably thinking, well, you don't look that bad in these photos. Thanks. The photo on the left was taken on a holiday where alcohol ruined many of those evenings. Not just my drinking, but drinking nonetheless. And the photo on the right, well, I look smiley and content. But I tell you now, a few hours after that photo was taken, I was vomiting behind the train station on my way home because I had drunk way too much. And at the grown up age of 50, it's not a good look. Now, in my younger years, I did a lot worse than just throw up. I was reckless and I allowed myself to get into potentially dangerous situations. Maybe one day I'll write a book about that. But when I was drinking, I was stressed. I woke up every morning with underlying feeling of anxiety. I found it hard to get up, even when I'd not had a big night out. I got overwhelmed at work and drank at lunchtime to take the edge off. And if no one else in the office would join me, I'd go by myself. I'd find a little pub where I knew no one else would go, and I'd have a little glass of wine. I was lonely, really, and I was fed up. And having missed out on having children, I felt my life lacked some kind of long-term purpose and meaning. So alcohol had become my crutch. It kept me company at home and it made me sociable and fun when I was out. But then I'd wake up every morning, back in the same cycle, feeling terrible and knowing that something had to change. Now, I'd done a couple of dry Januaries, and one year a thought came to me that I'd quite like to never drink again. And that January stretched into February. But come March, I was back to drinking exactly like I had been before. Like most people, I just couldn't imagine life without alcohol. So I just went back to drinking again, back in that cycle. I'd never hit rock bottom, although in hindsight, I'd had many mini rock bottoms over the decades. There's that book again. But eventually, I decided something had to change, and I finally stopped. So what happened next? Well, you know what? I never expected sobriety to be as good as it is. So I want to share that with you. So, firstly, I was free from the internal struggles I was having about how much alcohol I should and shouldn't be drinking. When I used to go out with friends, I'd be thinking from the off, don't drink too much, don't drink too much. So, all evening, it would be all I could think about and I couldn't relax. But now I can go out and I can just enjoy the evening. Drinking doesn't cross my mind, and there are no internal battles about whether I'm overdoing it or not. I lost 2 stone in weight that I'd been struggling to lose, not only because I'm consuming fewer calories. Alcohol is the second most calorific thing you'll consume after fat, by the way. I'm also now able to be more consistent with my exercise because I have more energy to do it. And I can make better decisions about my diet because I'm not hungover and craving those all bad starchy foods. My skin is clearer. Now, I've had psoriasis for decades. And of course, I still have it, but it has almost cleared up. It's the best it's ever been. And ladies, menopause symptoms have reduced significantly. You must realise when you've had a big night out that actually your menopause symptoms seem a lot worse. Now, money is never anyone's priority for some reason about alcohol, but I've worked out that I'm now saving about £2,000 a year by not drinking. I couldn't even bring myself to calculate how much I've spent over my lifetime. I haven't done it and I don't want to. I thought that anxiety and being overwhelmed at work was just part of a normal part of my day job. It turns out it wasn't. That anxiety has just melted away. And I find the stresses at work, which are still there, obviously, but they just don't faze me like they used to. I sleep so much better. I wake up earlier, fresh and hangover free every single morning. And I've gained an extra 2 hours of my day in the morning, which allows me to work on helping other women successfully change their relationship with alcohol with my coaching. And I do all that around a full-time job. So, yeah, and yes, I know I go to bed a bit earlier, but what was I doing in my evenings? Doom scrolling, watching nothing much on TV because I was drinking, so I couldn't really concentrate on anything anyway. And now I would never have had the guts to start my own business. But quitting drinking has firstly given me a new purpose in life to be a sober coach, but it's also given me the time to work on my business and the confidence to stand here like now and video this or do talks at wellness events, do one-to-one coaching, and write my online program. So, I will never regret quitting alcohol. It has truly been the best gift I've ever given myself. And as cheesy as it might sound, but years on, it's still a gift that keeps on giving. It's our misguided beliefs about alcohol that keep us stuck. You don't have to reach rock bottom to find that removing alcohol from your life really does give you so many benefits, all these benefits. You can be your authentic self, just as you were before alcohol was introduced to your life, just as you are meant to be. And it might feel like going alcohol free is a trend. It is a growing movement, but for long-term change. And with the expansion of alcohol-free alternative drinks, alcohol-free festivals, bars, community groups, podcasts, books, dating apps, and even comedy nights, there's no need to feel that you're the only one doing this. There are quite a lot of us out there. So here I am now. These are recent photos from my first sober holiday. Yeah, that's how long it's been since I've actually had a holiday abroad. So now I thought it would feel incredibly strange, but it didn't feel weird at all. In fact, it was incredible. And it was so wonderful to wake up every morning, hangover free, and just enjoy the day without thinking about can I have one more drink? Do you think I'll be all right because I've got to drive later? It was an amazing holiday, and just being able to enjoy that precious time away from work was just wonderful. Now you're probably thinking, Sarah, you said this was about quitting for just 30 days, and you admitted to yourself that dry January hadn't worked for you. Well, you're right, it didn't that time around. I wasn't ready. But what it did is it sowed a seed, and that seed and thought never ever left me. Now, I doubt very much you've come here and this is the first time you've ever thought about your drinking habits. You've probably already done a dry January or a sober October or even a non-event time off of the booze. But what you haven't done is the work. If you had, you wouldn't be here right now. Now, you're probably thinking, work? Okay, look, no one said it would be easier, but I promise you, it is easier than going round and round and round on the circle, on that booze train, right? On my 30 Days to Thrive program, we put that work into practice. We concentrate on the word thrive because that's what you'll be doing. And in daily steps, we look at taking stock. We notice what alcohol is costing you, your sleep, your mood, your money, your time, anxiety, your confidence, holding your boundaries. We make a commitment for 30 days and we make it non-negotiable. We learn how to deal with other people and difficult situations and to keep our boundaries with them. Reframing beliefs. We examine and challenge your beliefs about alcohol and create a new story for you to move forward. Interrupt the cravings. We identify what trigger your cravings and how we deal with them and how we move past them. Visualizing tomorrow. We delve into what the future could look like for you and be curious about short and long-term life goals. And enjoy the wins. We celebrate any milestone in success, however small. They all add up. And by identifying the positive aspects of sobriety, we keep the momentum going and your motivation. So my 30 Days to Thrive program is available now and comes with my journaling booklet, Rethinking Drink. This is a booklet of journaling prompts that get you thinking, questioning, and understanding your drinking habits to put you in the right frame of mind for my 30 Days program. The program itself contains 30 days of daily updates, videos, and downloadable exercises and tasks. This is that work I was talking about, the real work to get you thinking and taking action during the process. I provide you with tips on how to prepare and get the most from the program. And we cover all difficult topics, from cravings to social events to stress and more. And we'll challenge your mindset and beliefs around alcohol so you won't feel you're missing out. We'll practice tried and tested strategies and learn easy tools that you can rely on in real life situations. And you've got unlimited access, so you can return and watch the videos at any time. You'll get free access to my private Facebook coaching group, Rethinking Drinking. There's no judgment in there, just real practical support on a pathway to a healthier, happier life. You'll meet like-minded women, and I'm in there most days to encourage you along and answer your questions. Now, okay, some months, particularly January and October, have 31 days. Well, that's true. But once you've completed this program, you'll be equipped not just for that one extra day, but for many days to come. The benefits of sobriety don't just stop at 30 days. They continue for days, weeks, months, and years to come. So who is this program right for? Well, if you're sick of the cycle of drinking, if you say to yourself every morning, I'm not drinking today, and then by 5 p.m. you're starting to think, well, I've had a bit of a day, so one won't hurt, then this could be for you. If you've tried to moderate or stop, but you failed, so you stop for a few days or even weeks, but you always end up having one or two, and then before you know it, you're back where you started again. You want more from life. Maybe you feel like you want more from life, but you just don't know where to start. And being open-minded. Look, you've got to be open-minded and prepared to trust this process. You've been thinking about alcohol in a particular way all your life, and it's not made your life better, has it? So it's time to be open to the possibility that it's not all it's cracked up to be. Prepared to put in the work. There's that word again. Stopping drinking isn't difficult with the right support and strategies, but it's not a walk in the park either. You have to be prepared to put the work in place. Willpower will not help you. And understand that nothing will change if you don't change. There's no magical outside influence that will suddenly mean one day you'll have a better handle on your drinking. Only you can make that change. No one else can tell you. It's got to come from you within. So who isn't it for? This is really important. If you believe you have a physical dependency, for example, you get the shakes or you feel nauseous when you don't drink, then you must speak to your GP. Quitting drinking suddenly when you're physically addicted can be dangerous, so please seek medical help. If you're looking for a quick fix, well, there is no quick fix. You have to be patient and understand that what you're dealing with is years, if not decades, of beliefs and programming about alcohol. If you're not prepared to follow the course, I've curated this course really carefully to cover all the important steps that it takes for success in sobriety. So if you're not going to follow it, you'll just be setting yourself up for failure. If you want to go back to moderate drinking, well, this is a common one. People think once they've not drank for 30 days, that they think they've got it cracked, and now, they'll be happily able to drink again. This is highly unlikely, and it will only be a matter of time before you slip back into old habits. Now, if you're happy living your current life, if you're happy with it, then go for it. But I suspect that you're not, otherwise you wouldn't be watching this. Now, I can't iterate this enough, so I'm going to mention it again. This is really important. If you believe you have a physical addiction to alcohol, please seek professional medical advice before making any changes. A GP or a healthcare provider can guide you safely through a process and connect you with the right people. But what if you're still not sure? You're still on the fence. You're not sure you want to change. You still feel that alcohol brings you some benefit in your life. Then you know what? Let's get down to the nitty-gritty, the health implications. According to the International Agency for Research on Cancer, alcohol is a group 1 carcinogen, and that puts it in the same risk category as tobacco and asbestos. Now, if you discovered you had asbestos in one of your rooms in your house, it's a very high chance that you would block that room off or possibly leave the house until it's sorted. And asbestos makes front page headlines. Yet on the very same day as that headline, another newspaper was giving away free alcohol. It's no wonder people are confused, right? And let's dig a bit deeper. Alcohol has been identified to cause 7 different types of cancer. And for women, the main risk is for breast cancer. Here in the UK, around 55,000 women are diagnosed with breast cancer each year. And of those, 1 in 10 are directly linked to alcohol. Yet studies show that only 20% of women even know this. Now, women in the UK have a 14% chance of developing breast cancer. That's 1 in 7. And just 2 units of alcohol a day, which is a standard 175 milliliter glass of wine, will increase your chances by another 7 to 8%. And 2 large glasses of wine, that's 6 units, can push your risk by another 20 to 25%. Now, it's been widely publicised that hormone replacement therapy increases the risk of breast cancer. And yet, did you know it only increases it by 1.4%? I wonder how many women out there have been advised by their doctors not to take HRT because of a breast cancer scare. Yet alcohol has never, ever even been mentioned. Now, the health implications to quitting alcohol speak for themselves. And all the benefits that I have told you of how my life has improved and the lives of hundreds of thousands of women have improved by not drinking alcohol. So with all this in mind, 30 days is an ideal time to get the ball rolling and start learning new strategies and ways of life without alcohol. I can tell you it is the best thing I've ever done, and I can't recommend it more. And my program is only $29.99. Do you know how much you spend on alcohol a month? Have you ever worked it out? The average household spends £66 a month on alcohol. Now, I know for a fact that I spent a lot more than that. So in just 30 days, you'd be quids in already. I hope you can see now that it's the perfect time to make a change to your life. So sign up now, and I look forward to meeting you in my Facebook group. Thank you.